Huge welcome to the Sovereign Free Life podcast. I'm honored to have Alana G here from Australia. So welcome here. And you are such an inspiration today for other women. You're holding retreats, you're holding a lot of space for people to step into their best version of themselves, especially women. And I know it hasn't always been that way. Like you have come from very rough backgrounds, and you also were stuck in the corporate world and into personal training, and you shifted hugely. Like today, you are stepping into consciousness, stepping into awareness, and becoming also the mother that you want to be and inspiring others to be that. So honored to have you here. Would love
Thank
to hear a bit about your
you.
story, like, and your background, and like see where you come from and how you then moved into this beautiful community that we have.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Hello, everyone. What an honor to be being able to share my story and to share the journey that I've taken because this space really gives you an opportunity to really flower and flourish and become more than you ever dreamed that you possibly could become. And so it's such a blessing to have these moments where you get to reflect back on what a journey. Like, wow, things have really shifted and changed for me. And I'm so great. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm so grateful that this came into my life, and I didn't know at the time how much impact it was going to make for me. All I
Mm,
knew at the time was there was this desire in my belly, like there was this knowing, there was this, I call it like the female compass, right? It's like the intuition. And I mean, we all have it. And that was there, but I was so layered by conditions and I was so layered by my trauma and I was so layered by my own negative self-beliefs and so much noise, like so much noise. Um, and I wasn't really in the environment at the time with people that were going to be supportive either. So, I came into this space really in a different world. And what this opened up for me was this whole new world, but it was actually the world that I had been looking for and praying on and seeking for a really long time.
mm,
So, where I'll start is that I have a background in business and I've pretty much been an entrepreneur essentially, like actually from leaving school. I had a rough school life, I had a rough young adult life, and that led me to like being expelled and all of these things. Like I just didn't really confit to the conformism, and I just had too much trauma, really. Essentially, I was just rolling around with all these emotions I didn't know how to deal with, and lots of things happening in my life. I was one of probably, I was a very young domestic violence child, I guess. Like
mm,
well, I was 15 to 18 when that happened. It was long before anyone spoke about it,
mm,
and that was my first experience of dating, and it was pretty horrendous. And we don't need to go into it, but there was a lot of conditioning in that as around that. I'm worthless. All this
mm,
projection onto me um, about my worth and so forth. So I really wasn't coming into the world with the greatest of like backing in myself. But there was
mm,
that like there was this there was a spark, and even with my parenting, right? My parents, they love my mom, love my dad, really healed these relationships now. But at the time, I didn't feel really supported in who I was, and what I wanted to create. And even as a teenager, I remember thinking to myself, I can do anything, and like being met with like, you can't do that, da da da, like so. There was just this really polarizing viewpoint. Like my internal compass, like my internal light was like, I'm sure I can, and then the world around me was like, no, 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 but like this really
mm,
toxic kind of environment. Had
mm.
really toxic friends as a teenager. I actually dreamt of them last night, really crazy. Anyway,
Mm.
I had this circle of friends, we were like 15 of us, we were all just so absolutely in love with each other, but we were doing the most horrendous things to each other. Like we just, like it was just a toxic love. Like that was like I'm just trying to give context of like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I grew up to, and I
exactly.
can laugh
But
and
it's
smile
so
about it
so
now.
important. I think so many people are still stuck in that. Like people are still living that, but how do you think that formed you? Like what kind of stories did you tell yourself from that? Like what stuck to you, do you feel, from
I
that kind
guess,
of
yeah, the self-worth piece is always something that sticks, and most people have this playing out in some shape or form.
mm.
Um, and for me, it's like the not enoughness, or I'm not getting it right. That's something that I see a lot of as well in my, wanting to get it right. Like, but then at the same flip side of that, it's like this rebellious, courageous woman who just can do, just like no, no Fs, like let's go. Um, so it's, this is like the shaping, and I share about it because from an outside perspective, you could look in and look at those scenarios, and there's way more things in there that I don't really speak about because it's pretty intense. But you could look at those scenarios and think, oh, how can a woman like that, or how can a child or a teenager from that such, pain and hurt and suffering make her way in the world? And that's because, I've found something that helps nourish me and allows me to thrive and allows me to have what it was that I didn't have, that didn't
Mm,
have the love and the nourishment and the support to fully thrive in that lifetime. So what I did was I actually, to escape some of my reality, I actually jumped on a plane and started traveling the world. And that
mm,
really opened my eyes up to learning like new ways of being within myself. And then I traveled and traveled and traveled, and I did third world country volunteering, and I became a personal trainer and lived in this beautiful salad town, and ran a successful personal training business. And that was kind of like really the moment I accessed like a level of freedom, because I was working in the corporate personal training world for many years. And someone said to me, "Why don't you start a business?" And I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So I put all my hours, like I was like working those 5 to 11 a.m.s, and then 5 p.m. to like 8 p.m. or even earlier starting. Like it was just like in the middle of the day was when I had a break. Kind of annoying because you don't want to go back to work, but you have to go back to work. And this went on most days, even Sundays, I'd be in the gym and
wow.
things like that.
Mm,
So when I started my own business, what I did was I just took my like people that wanted to come with me into group training, and starting a business called the Beach Babes. It was in this beautiful town called Cronulla in Australia. And
wow. Mm.
I started to understand a little bit of what freedom meant, because all of a sudden I made the exact same amount of money, but I worked like 5 hours a week. And I started having my freedom, and then I hired my first personal trainer employee, and I was getting $270 for the hour, but I was paying her $50. So I started to understand leverage and understanding how to leverage other people, and I really just wanted my Mondays. That's why I did that. I was like, I loved my Sunday sessions at that stage, so here we go. Um,
Mm, mm,
and but then what happened was I wanted to do another volunteer trip. So what onto my heart was that I wanted to work with children again. I've done a volunteer trip in the Philippines, and this one I really wanted to go back and do another trip and work in an orphanage. And that's when I had the realization I was still really trading my time for money, and
mm,
I wasn't resourced enough in education around business or entrepreneurism or money, to know a way to be able to get my business sustained while I was away, so that I had
mm,
income so I could be in this third world country. So what happened was essentially I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and so I decided to do that. I had a loan out for all my equipment, and all of a sudden, I couldn't service that loan because I was in a third world country. The bank didn't care. I didn't have money coming in. This was just the situation. And so I realized in that moment, okay, there's got to be better ways.
mm,
However, from
mm.
that, I traveled some more, and I fell pregnant in the next round of travels after
Oh,
my
wow.
volunteer trip.
Mm,
And so the seed was planted around freedom. The seed was kind of already there on how I was
mm,
going to do my life moving forward. And so when I fell pregnant with my daughter, and I at the time was with my daughter's dad, we decided to come back to Australia. I knew that I needed to find a way that was going to allow me to, one, A, I love traveling and I didn't want to change who I was. B, I really didn't want to go back to personal training because I didn't want to be responsible for someone else's like goals and all of those things when I was about to give birth.
Mm,
And I also didn't want to have to return to work when I was a parent because one of my biggest dreams of my whole life was to be an amazing parent and be an amazing mother.
mm,
And so for
mm.
me, that was being present and being available and being able to be there with her. And so that's when I got
Mm.
into the online space. So really, that's the
Wow.
long-winded way. There's so much more in there,
And I
but
think it's
um,
an important point there because I mean I've also been an entrepreneur, worked as a coach. We had a transport industry like business, and but a lot of people just trade like a 9 to 5 to maybe even working more hours, in
yeah,
in their own business. And then it's kind of the next step. Okay, then what?
yeah.
So yeah, let me know, like, how did you find out about like this opportunity and this community? Like, tell me the story.
Yeah.
Like, how
So
did
for
it
me,
happen?
the first step I made into online space was called low ticket network marketing. It was traditional business. Um, I actually purchased a product from our company back when I was pregnant with my daughter because right, I was into my health, like it was a big thing for me. So
Wow.
I'd already
Mm,
purchased a product, however, never looked into what it meant to be an affiliate marketer or that there's this business side of things because I was still really consumed by um, my lower offers, and so I kind of just kept on this path of my lower offers and really beating my social media with before and afters and all of these things that you learn. This was my first learning to online business, and I look back and it's so amusing now. And so amusing, like the shift and the changes because it's such a vastly
mm,
different approach.
mm,
Um, but it gave me a taste tester of what was possible. However, I found myself, 4 years in after, winning some trips and being called a leader and all these things that I look back at now, which I feel were a little bit discrepancy against what was actually being experienced behind the doors because
mm,
I was not making a lot of money and I barely had enough money to survive. And when
mm,
I became a solo parent, then I picked up, I had picked up work again, misaligned, soul crushing work to try and make up for the money. And I found myself again in another conversation with myself, like, is this how you're going to go out? Like, if you go out right now, your daughter doesn't actually really know who you are. If you go
mm,
out right now, you still haven't healed the relationship with your daughter's dad. You still haven't healed the relationship with my mother at the time. Like, if I went out that day in this moment, like I would be known for the way that I was living, and it wasn't that
mm,
great.
mm, mm,
And for me, I didn't want that to be my memory. I wanted to
mm,
make an impact so that it lasts and the things that I cared about, she knew that I cared about. And
mm,
they were like, transformation and health and healing and, courage. And these are the things that I wanted her to know that it's possible. Doesn't matter what background you've come from. Like you can choose the way that you want to live, your sovereignty, your freedom.
mm,
And I really wanted to start to embody that. And that was that crucial moment that, I find this with a lot of people that come into this space.
mm.
And if anyone watches it, they can put it in the comments this moment, right? Because like you pray on it or you have some level of like, this is what I need. And all of a sudden, I hear this on like calls daily now.
Yeah,
And I
it's
want to act
true.
as shocked as I was when I first heard all the women that I spoke to say the same thing. But now I hear it all the time, and I'm like, I know that you were sent here. I know because I've
Oh my
seen this so many
God.
times.
Yeah, it's the magic, right? Like for me too. It was around 3 weeks before this just popped up, in my life. I was just sending out this huge prayer, just like, you know what, I can't do this. Like, show me another way. Like, please.
Yeah.
I need to get out of this kind of glass box. I can't stay here any longer, you know.
Yeah. It's
But it's
amazing,
so
like,
amazing. It's just like when you make the decision inside of you, you know, it just starts happening. Like, and the right people come, right?
yeah. And
And
then you have to
yeah,
learn the
tell
next
me, like,
pieces, and the next
how,
pieces are the yes pieces.
yeah.
Then you have to be like, do I really want to receive what I said I want to receive?
Exactly. Yes. Are you ready to actually open up and like, are
Yeah.
you worthy to receive this now?
Yeah. And it's,
Yeah.
yeah, so I had by that stage started redoing some retreat work, and I really understood the energetics behind growth. And
Mm,
so when it came to me, yes, I had layers of thought process that were like, you know, I knew I was going to do it, let's be honest. But at the same time, there was a lot of noise. And also I was in business, right? In a way that was out of integrity to me, and with people. So it meant that I was around people that weren't going to be very supportive because it wasn't a business in alignment. So of course they weren't going to be supportive. Like that's just kind of how it works. And so I had to go through like a judgment phase of separating from another business, and I had to do this also in the public eye because I was online.
mm,
Um, like I'm going to a new business, right? And I'm making a
mm.
new move. Uh, but thank goodness I did. And I remember that moment saying yes, like fully saying yes, like when you fully say yes. And it felt like this cloak of trauma and baggage and pain just was like whoop off. And I call it flow state. Like if you look up the energetics of what flow state feels like, this was flow state. All of a sudden it's like sun starts shining, the people part ways and you start walking through it. Like it's like this glorious moment that you've just aligned to your truth. And
Mm.
it all started to shift and change after that, really. The first month went, well, it was
But it's funny you
crazy.
say that. I actually also felt the same. Like I didn't really intellectually understand from the start what it was, but I was like dreaming about it, like thinking about it, like all the time. I could not shake, this. It was just drawing me in a way, like because there was
It
this
was,
light, there was such a huge energy, and also from the people, in the
it was the
community.
people, I
Yeah.
remember.
It's like, what have they done? Like,
I
what?
know, I'm like,
They're
why are
just
they so happy?
shining.
Like, oh my God, they support each other, they love each other. And that was the one thing that, like, I was like, the little birdie was going, nobody can be that nice to each other. It's not real. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I just don't know that many people that would pretend to be nice. I'm just like, how bizarre that would be if a whole bunch of people were just pretending to be nice and
Yeah,
supportive.
exactly. Like this, no
Um,
one is nice, actually, for real.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm
Like
like, I'm gonna
negative
take my
voice.
chances because like I've been looking for this forever. Like, like I literally been looking for this since my 20s.
Exactly.
So
And what
yeah.
was it? Like, what was the key points that really made you like say yes fully to this? Like, what attracted you?
I feel like one really powerful piece was this automation piece, like this support to resources around how to leverage it online so that it's more of ease and more of flow and not
Mm,
this hustle grind mentality. And so really for the females, like really like being attraction magnets and really stepping into that and then having resources like people that are back supporting the foundations of it to support you so that you don't have to be the expert because at the time
mm,
it was like I was wearing all of the hats and this one really just allowed me to surrender that and have systems and I still use those systems today and yet I have so much more knowledge around it all and I could step in and do it all but the fact is the beauty of not having to do it all because of systems and support and love it makes life so much more joyous so what and we want to bring joy to other people we want to show them what's possible as well
mm,
and it's
mm.
actually a very intelligent business tool that like multimillionaires, billionaires, like they use. So when you start learning around the wealth aspect of life, like you can, these are like leverage is a word you'll hear of, and it's like that is actually like a word that is used in so many educational books and resources around business. And
Mm,
that's what I
mm,
also loved, because I was a very passionate business person, and I love looking at things through the lens of business and intelligence around business, and if it's a smart business move, things like that. So when I did see it in its fullness, and this is the process that I'm talking about that is automated, is like you get to go and see this process. There's resources for you to like fully dive in and see what's available to you. Like actually go and map it out for yourself, like with yourself, not with somebody else telling you about it, which I love about it, because then you get to like go through that processing yourself and really sit and go, cool, this is for me. And so I did that with, I did that, and that really allowed me to go, oh, I can see the intelligence to this. I can see why it works. I
mm.
can see how, that I'm in alignment to this. Like I already actually had the product sitting in my house. Like one of the products, like I was like, oh my God. So
Yeah.
funny. And, I'm a big advocate for wellness on a really deep level. And I believe it's not just from health, but it starts with health. Like if you don't have health, what do you got?
Mm,
And then
mm,
because I'm now also very educated on like spirituality, depth in regards to like detoxification of the body, and why that allows you to be more of a channel, like resource to God, like a availability to be able to hear and listen, and more intuitive, be more in your feminine, because that cleans up all the channels that allows you to access that more. So I'm even
mm.
more so an advocate these days, even more so. But I mean, you just consistently grow into understanding the depths of what's truly here, so you can't not become more of an advocate.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, we were
all
just
women,
saying before the call, like, okay, the water and like the foundation is like the first step, and then it's just like opens up these doors to like
I've
this
seen
kind of
people just alone drinking the water, right, and their life path absolutely shifts and change for the
yeah,
better. And
yeah.
there's so
How
many
do you
reasons to
explain
it,
that?
but
Like,
it's
how do
like
you?
you're drinking live, active frequency, like vibration, like
Mm,
water, like cellular, like it is live. So if you ate all day, negatively charged food, like, I'm sorry, not negatively charged, because negative charge is actually positive, but if you just ate neutral
mm,
dense food, right? Like just food with no frequency or vibration, or like compared to if you ate active live food all day, like
mm,
just tune into like how you would be like in your own field. Like just from that alone, the reality outside of you shifts and changes based on that. And so
mm,
when you start,
mm,
just every glass is medicinal, is medicine, is activation, is liveness, is there to support you to have a whole different perspective of life, opening up to receivership of what life can really offer you, because you're thriving in a different way. And you're going to see and experience so many different things that open up to you just from that alone.
mm, mm. Wow. Yeah, definitely. And it's so true. I've done these like longer detoxes. I did a like water fasting for 10 days just recently. And it's a spiritual journey. Like when you detox deeply, like that this water does, like it's clean and it's detoxing like deeply on a cellular level. Like you actually clear out trauma, you clear out tension, you
Yep.
clear out, oh my God, that these 10 days I was water fasting, like I
Yeah, I
would
just
have
had one of my
tension
soul
in
sisters.
places where I didn't even know I had tensions, and then they would just relax and I would have these emotional like
Yeah.
outbursts and then like complete peace and just woo, just bliss.
Yeah,
It's
my
such a
girlfriend just did
journey.
the 3 day water fast, and it's a resource. Again, when I talk about resources, like resourcing yourself, having an access point to be able to heal whenever you need,
Mm,
is or grow or expand. That's why I love business resources in this space as well. That's another topic. But the water, like my girlfriend, found herself in a situation where she wasn't feeling great again. And so, boom, she has a resource. 3 days of water fasting. She's back on game. She's ready to go. She's fired up. There's her
Mm,
resource to heal herself from the inside out from home
mm,
and not having to
exactly.
spend thousands on a retreat. And I love running retreats, but the amount of people that are happy to go and do 1 week of retreat work and spend thousands on that, then actually have resources at home at their fingertips. Every glass is a resource. It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
It's the most like biggest resource that you have in your life in regards to physical health.
Exactly. Wow. It truly, truly is. And like I think we're kind of this big bunch of people just completely passionate about health. Like especially when like you said, it's the foundation. When you see again and again and again people's health just shifting, 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 like it
Yeah.
it doesn't kind of slow down your engagement. It's like, oh my God. That
And
was the
you get to
missing piece,
experience the difference,
people that
right?
have done everything, everything, and then it's like, yeah, they just get the water, boom, everything shifts.
Yeah.
Yes, it's truly magic. But I would love to hear a bit more, like, how did you get started in this, and what have been the ups and the downs? What has been your experience of
Yeah,
of
so
like stepping into this
I mean,
business?
I had no money, guys. Like I was, I used the team and the resources to be able to get started. Like I found a way. I had no way, but I found it. I found a way.
Yay.
And I am so grateful I did. But I had learnt that find a way out of nowhere. I had learnt what was possible at that stage. Like we are so again, money can be resourced anywhere. Like it's just like, are you willing to do the thing? And this is part of the group growth. Like if you really want to leap and go into bounds of wealth and abundance and all of those things, like you have to go through these stepping stones, and they'll be at every part of the journey. They're just bigger when you're later on in the journey, right? Like you got more money to play with. Like my retreats are a gift now as my contribution gift.
Mm.
So I pay for that now just as a contribute. That's like my contribution
Wow.
project for the year. Like it's crazy. But the so I was met with myself in that moment because I have to be met in that moment to grow. If like it can't, some people it find it really easy, but they're gonna find the growth within the journey. For me, it was right at the start, and so I was able to lend some money to get started, and that allowed me to basically change my whole reality. For me,
Mm.
at the start, I just followed like the spiritual practices and really like also like really starting to get into my body, like what I actually wanted to achieve. And for me, it was like 5-figure month. Like that was to me, if I can do that online, like I know that I'm good. And so I knew that I could make bigger amounts of money. Like I already had that conceptualized, but just didn't know if we could do it online, right? So
Mm.
um, I really wanted to do that for myself. And the embodiment practices that I went on, it was like, speaking it into existence, praying it out to God in certain. I'm very big on frequencies, so I'd find like the edge of a mountain where there's no interrupting EMF or frequencies coming by, and I'd speak it out.
Mm.
I'd do a lot of that, a lot, and then I'd also speak it into existence with people. I started to like learn what it felt like in my body to actually say what I wanted that I wanted. And then I started to share my vision online. I started to be really courageous about it. And that just rippled me into meeting a woman in America who saw one of my posts. And then she, had another sister that came on board, and that woman now is on Legacy Wealth,
Wow.
and
Mm.
Elena now also runs these beautiful offline shops over America. She's popping them up called the Blue Ozone. And they're like Kangen water shops and these really beautiful shops dedicated to health and wellness because she's very much about that.
Wow.
And it was
Mm.
just the trajectory opened up. All these mums started to get supported. All these women's lives started to get supported. And I was like, what? This little old me has just created this ripple effect? What? And so my first year, like, it was just this incredible year of abundance. And then my next, and my next, and my next. And in that, there was journeys along the way. Like I had to grow myself, grow my skill set, but more so like for me, like I would meet myself in my fears and my edges and my where I'm hiding. This business really
Mm.
gives you an opportunity, and business in general, entrepreneurism in general, will shine the light back on where you're hiding. And
Mm.
it and if you want to go out and enjoy the game, like it's just this reality that they're playing in, is like, well, you've got to resource yourself. So I just consistently grew into personal development. The spaces has so many, incredible people working together and supporting each other, and educational tools, growth tools, healing tools, like and so it was always
Mm.
available to me in this space. There was no, I didn't ever need to seek externally, unless of course I resonated with a coach or a mentor
Mm.
outside, which, at times through the journey I have as well. Like everything I needed was resourced within the community. And so
Wow. Mm.
yeah, so I just kept growing, and then I got to travel the world with my daughter, which is something that I always desire. Now, I loved, actually, I brought her out to San Diego this year. It was this year. We are in
Ah,
San
really?
Diego,
Wow.
and
Mm.
took her to Disneyland for her 10th birthday, because her 10th
Whoa.
birthday was, yeah. And she also got
Um,
to hang out with like all the other free school, these kids that are world schooling, like
mm.
that are traveling around with their parents, and their parents are both present because of this space. Like, she got to hang out with them and make daisy flower crowns, and just that essence. Like even the children are holding the essence of like this absolute love and inclusiveness, and it
Mm.
just such a vibe. So yeah, is that
Oh,
answering
beautiful.
that question? Oh, it's been a beautiful journey.
Definitely. Like, wow, what a journey. And I guess you reached those five-figure months if I
Oh yeah, I very early
yeah.
on. Yeah, I did it in 30 days.
In
Am I
30
allowed to say
days. Are you kidding
that?
me?
Yeah, that moment I said yes, and I started
Whoa,
to implement,
that is
like,
fast.
yeah, so I did 4A in 30 days, and then I did 6A in 11 months in this company, and then
Woohoo.
um thank you. Yeah. And what I notice about me and why that happened, because there was periods where I was doing the transition, like, am I going to do it? No, 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 no. So
Mm,
they're like, they're still there. And I haven't counted it. What I'm talking about is the day that I decided and took action and implemented, every day implemented the tools that were sent to me. And that means energetically, like really owned it. That means when doubt came in, I was like, cool, you're there, but no, we're not like this is not what we're doing. We're not letting you be a part of this next part of my journey, right?
mm,
I had the noise, but I had the understanding that I had to keep moving forward in my body, in my physical form, in my thoughts, in my writings, in my approach to people, with full conviction and ownership that this is what was going to happen.
mm,
And so
mm.
I did that, and I just kept doing that over and over again.
Oh
And
my
it
God, that's
obviously
fire.
equals,
You are on
yeah,
fire.
yeah. And
Wow.
it takes commitment. It's like going to
Mm,
the gym every
mm.
day for 30, like going, I'm getting
Yeah,
the result, like, and you
definitely.
don't know if you are, but you're just like, ah.
No,
Yeah.
but like, and what was driving you? Like, what do you feel was the pure like driving force in
What's
that?
possible? It's
Yeah.
always been for me to just see what's possible.
Mm,
This uncapped possibility of who we can become and what we can create. I knew energetically anything's possible. I knew because, and like conceptualize, like I can understand there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the world that are doing this and making it work, right? And that, not even just this business, but multiple things, like where they're generating this incredible wealth doing what they love, or online, or like that is fact. Like, so it's like, well, if that is fact, like obviously then also I can make that happen. I just have to get into the belief that I can make it happen.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and just being, yeah, my daughter, like being in the struggle, like I was done with that. You know,
Mm.
one of my mottos right at the start there was like, you know, I believe and I deserve it. Like I was like, oh, can I swear?
Go on.
I was like, I fucking deserve it. Like I've like I'd been through the trenches, guys. You saw what I went through for my first 20 years. And then I still didn't give up on myself. I still didn't give up on myself after being in some of the most torturous environments ever. I
Mm,
had, you know,
mm.
I had offered my life to servicing other like children in third world countries. Like I was like, I deserve this. I'm ready. Like, you know,
Oh, that's
I never
amazing.
gave up. And if you're like someone
Mm.
that's sitting there and you're like, man, I've been through the trenches, well, then you deserve it too, right? Like, it's like you're still alive, you're
Yeah.
still kicking, you're still searching, you're still looking, you're opening your mind. Like, celebrate that. Like, celebrate that you're still here, willing. And then take that and make that your belief that you are deserving, you are courageous, and you are, you know, someone who is a warrior. Like you've gone through it,
Mm.
you can do this. Like just
Exactly. If
commit
you've
to
gone
it.
through all of that pain, like that,
Yeah.
you can use that driving force in a good way. Like, what
Yes.
took you through
Like,
that will take
yeah.
you to the heights. Like, but I love what you said, how, yeah, I want to see what's possible because there's no cap there. I've also done, lots of this inner development. And sometimes you come to these kind of invisible kind of caps on yourself. Like, I think I'm actually working through, I've also had multiple like 5-figure months, but the 6 figures is like
I
next
know, me
step.
too.
Me
I'm on
too.
that process too.
And it
Like,
feels like this kind of cap, even though it's just like, yeah, maybe tripling what I've already made, many months.
yeah.
It's not that far actually, but still in the mind, it's like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I've kind of got to a really good place with like it's totally possible, and also like this deeper level of trust in like like in faith in God. For me,
Mm,
it's like, okay, if I can give my all and also have faith and trust that it is divine and it's
mm,
happening as it will, like it will. Like I see bursts of moments, and all of a sudden, you know, I've got multiple five figures in a month, you know, and that's when I'm usually like really trusting in the depths of how like God and like
mm,
also like
mm,
what my intuition's saying is my next step, and
mm,
honoring that. And then I get out of the way. Like it's like, you know what, this isn't even about me. I'd love to make it about me. I'd love it to be
mm.
about me. I'd love it to be all about me. But a lot of it is so supernatural that it can't be about me. It
Yeah.
has to be about something bigger. And I've seen that even with my retreats, the
Mm,
transformation and the women's like breakthroughs, like that is, it's like I'm a vessel, really.
mm,
I'm a vessel. And
mm.
when I open myself to be the vessel, then momentum happens more so. And
Yeah,
so,
it's
yeah, I
very
guess if anyone's
beautiful.
watching this around being in the business, like just become the vessel. Like I say that to my really brand new people. I'm like, hey, if you're saying yes, you're becoming a vessel and God's gonna want to work through you. Like it's
I
like
love
it's gonna happen. You may just like all of a sudden walk into a shop and meet the most aligned human being ever. You've got to be open, right? You've got to be open to be like, whoa, I'm open to this magic. Like and then be ready to take action. That's your humanness that's now gonna have to come into the game.
Exactly.
It
And
was like you're gonna
receive
actually
when the
have to,
magic
yeah,
happens, right?
yeah. Yeah, don't cock block it. Don't cock block it. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. No, but I love that because, I said to the team the other day, like, right, well, no, it was actually on the big team call we had, like, just there's a story of like our mentors, Balazs and Clint, like, they're kind of come really far in this, how they met. And it's like
Yeah,
we could
nice.
never figure it out. It was like Balazs speaking to a person and this Clint jumping on this whatever randomly meeting this guy and this guy speaking to Balazs and then they connecting. Like some things you can't work out with your mind, right? Like it's not something you can control. Like you, you just have to kind of surrender to, okay, there's a bigger force here. Like, why don't we just align with that and see what happens, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's like, so there's all of it gets to exist. So you got your logical parts where you get to grow yourself, grow your mind, grow your business
Mm,
resources. Like for the business baddies, like if you want to be a real business baddie, like entrepreneur, like there are resources of actual knowledge that you need to grow
mm,
in, and one of them is definitely wealth, and the other one is systems, like how to, leverage systems, and some of that you don't even have to figure out because it's already done for you. Most of it is, but it's like that kind of knowledge, when you start to realize, all comes back to, again, mindset. It all comes back to a place of how do we approach this in the mind and in the actionable ways that we're holding our body and we're holding ourselves through it, because there's always going to be challenges. Money will go out at times, like there's going to be investments in yourself, or things might not go to plan. Like that is part of the bigger plan. Like I always think to myself, man, I lost a couple of $1,000. Like this was outside of this business, but in an investment. And I think to myself, oh, yay, like because the mindset, I have to be like that, because there are multi millionaires that have lost bigger rounds of money, and it's part of the entrepreneur journey. So every stepping stone, you've got to be really ready with your mindset on how you're going to approach it. And when you trust in the magic, you're like, oh, this is divine for me for this reason. Let me learn what I need to learn so I can learn it as quickly as I can, so that I can move on to the next level of my journey in this business, in this life, in this entrepreneurialism, and release pressure on yourself as well around what's happening next, but always grow. Like if there's something that you're resisting, it's usually going to keep persisting. Like so, what you resist, what resists persists. So you're either going to have to make alchemy with that thing that you're resisting, like, and give it no energy at all, or you go, I'm going to explore it and see what's there.
mm, mm,
And that could be, some people are addicted, like if we're going to go into online business, and some people are really stuck in just doing it online, and they're not
mm,
even opening themselves up to the fact that there's incredible people around them that need this, that are support, that are in their communities, that are in their, are in those moments. They're so tunnel visioned on this one perspective that
mm,
then all of a sudden, like God's trying to work through other ways, and you can't, and they're not, open to it, or vice versa. So I just really, from the get-go, have just been like this open book,
mm.
um, of how it's out of my hands, but in my hands, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that, like being of service, because, that's really what happens in the end. Like, and like you say, it becomes an embodiment in you. It's like you start to speak to everyone because it just shines through you that this is what you love, this is what you do. It's kind of merging.
Yeah,
And and I think then those people, the right people will be attracted to this, like the more you
yeah,
step into it yourself. And like you say, it is a mix of, the skill set, the mindset, the alignment, like all of those different things. It's a lot of
yeah,
moving parts, but at the same time, it's like you said, I was also at the start just discipline of actually doing the steps, like moving forward. I mean, I had all the excuses. I had like 3 kids, a business, full-time job, blah, blah, blah. Like I could have all the excuses, but I was sitting there every evening, like 1, 2 hours, and just, going through the steps and trusting the process, and boom, then you actually like move forward so beautifully. But Alana, that's a beautiful story. And I just want to ask you, like, are there points in this journey, like in the online space? I know like most people wanted to give up at some point, but are there some, shifts that you've had, like some blocks you've moved through, and how
yeah.
did
So
you
I
do
went through a couple of, like, one of the biggest times that happened, and then I kind of
that?
recommitted and never uncommitted after that. But it was when COVID happened. So for me, what that did was, like, I had to reassess my values and on what I actually believe around money, and this entrepreneurism. So, especially because a lot of people were questioning the whole system at that stage, like, and and so was I. And so I went on a bit of a journey where I was barefoot and in these communities out living on lands where everyone was contributing. I was like, can we actually live without money, right? And in that moment, what I witnessed for a period of time was like, obviously, we shared a lot of things, but those things that we shared were also resourced by money.
Mm,
And the other thing was that there was this dream that this community have, and this is now, I think, like 6 years later, and that dream is still something they are wishing into existence because of the lack of resource of money. And so, and that's to buy community land. And, and this just kept, like, I wanted to be a part of that. I was like, let me help you resource the money. Like, bring the community together, we'll get it done. Like, let's go. But what I found, and I absolutely love this community that offered, so much deepness in regards to love and care and, coming together as families in person and stuff. What I saw what was happening in my business, like with women like Louise Millman, building her own off-grid land, like building, like actually doing the thing. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh
Here we get
man,
the
our
actual
community is
resources.
so epic. I came back to like,
Yeah.
we're not only all of what I love about this community, but we're also resourcing ourselves
Mm,
and doing the thing that is going to be the change for the generations beyond. And
mm,
because I found, like people are still happy in this space to be working, living off the government, or
mm.
working in. So it was kind of like
Yeah, mixed
disjointed thinking,
messages. Yeah, yeah.
like they're wanting to be sovereign, but they're not acting sovereign. They're not doing the thing
Mm,
that's going to help them to
mm.
become sovereign. And
Exactly.
so yeah, and so that was a real turning point when I recommitted. At that stage, I was like, "Oh, nah, I can't
Mm.
deny what's going on. Like, this is good. This is really
Yeah, I
good."
mean, in the
And
real world that we live in, right? Like right now, it's we don't live in the future yet, but here we do need money to buy land, to build houses, to do all the stuff. Like I'm also like living on farm right now. I couldn't do that without this. We're building an eco village, a health center, like all the things. I have to pinch myself, that it's happening. But I was at the same point, like I was involved in all these community building. We wanted to do all these visionary stuff. No one had money, like no one. How are we going to do it? We can't just sit and fantasize like all day long. It's
I
not
know,
going to
well,
happen that way.
and I gave my energy to that project, like for a period of time where I was like, "Let's go," and and in the end, I just was like, I'm actually gonna just surrender now because I realize it's not actually gonna happen because no, like not just me, like we need a team, we need a community, and this is a really great example of why you bring in incredible people into your business that align with you, that have
Mm,
the same vision and thinking, because ultimately together you get to create things that get to happen in this lifetime,
mm,
and that's what I'm a big fan of Mr. Oshiro and just the ethics that he's created from his vision and his starting point, and then him bringing in his community and really paving the
mm,
way on how you support people you care about, people that are in your networks, people that
mm,
are coming into your spaces, and like really, flourishing that overflow out.
mm,
And his story
mm.
is incredible. If you ever get to share
Yeah,
that, you should definitely share
definitely, definitely. I mean,
that.
if you want to see, there's this beautiful movie. What was it called? Like this
Yeah, the Compassion
documentary.
Project.
Exactly. And I love that, like how the ikigai, like the Japanese philosophy of like how you build a meaningful life, actually the closing of the circle is compassion, is like giving it on to others, which is so true. Like when you've had it all yourself, it's like what is actually meaningful is seeing, like passing it on. It's actually seeing other people
Yeah.
also
And that's like with
feel
Romy.
it.
I don't know if you've ever interviewed him or you get
Yeah,
to
yeah, I
soon, but
did. Yeah, actually.
yeah, well, Romy, like, one thing that him and his wife said to me, and I absolutely love them. I love their energy. They're always such a vibe to be around. But you
Mm.
start to have enough wealth that you wake up each day and you're like, who are we giving it to? And I just love that he said that to me. I was like,
Oh,
it's like you
beautiful.
just have enough that you're like, who are we going to give this to today? And that, imagine waking up and that being your daily purpose. Like I get such a joy out of giving right now,
Oh,
because I could, I took for granted. Well, I didn't actually take for granted, but I people can take for granted these simple things of just being able to fill your car up with fuel. Like a single mom, I get it. Like they're like just to be able to go and not even look at the numbers of what it's going to cost and just fill your car up completely to full, go in and pay, not actually have to worry about it. Like that was
mm.
one of the hard, one of those hard things that yeah, I had to think about even going and eating what I want and enjoying what I want.
Exactly.
So now what
Or
I do
like
is
just
like I
going
pay.
into an organic store and just picking whatever you love.
Oh, everything I eat now
Oh.
is like top notch, right? Like I am a food advocate. I love good food. I love cooking. I enjoy it. I enjoy that. I love a really good expensive wine, like here and there as well. Like I don't like the cheap stuff. But I like that because I like the enjoyment and I like the freshness and I like the cleanness. I'm in alignment. And thank goodness that I have taken the stepping stones, and this is the part where I took responsibility
Mm,
and allowed myself to partner with the supernatural. It was that I took the stepping stones to say yes. I went through the hard parts where I had to delayer the conditioning. And I thank goodness I did that. Thank goodness I
mm,
took a stepping stone every freaking day towards learning and growing and expanding and understanding so that I could have this.
mm.
And now I get to give it forward, like even just paying somebody's fuel. I do that every now and then, just pay someone's fuel. Like I really want to get to a point where like you see someone like this is my next one is like obviously I don't need a whole lot of money for it, but like just go into a restaurant and then just pay someone's meal. Like I was like, I want to know what that feels like and I want to watch it. I want to see it unfold. Like, I am doing a contribution retreat. This is my third year in a row
Oh,
where
wow. Mm,
anyone that comes in, I reward them with this retreat, and I have other women that come from other communities as well. Like again, I've learned the ethics of like supporting everyone and anyone. Like we just all
mm.
work together. So I have spaces that are open up always for the external communities too, and
Oh, wow.
it's
Mm,
just an embodiment of what this community is about. I just walk and
mm,
breathe being that and
mm.
it's so rewarding. Like it's risky. It's like I mean I'm giving like $15,000 or more to this retreat to help other women. Like, but it's like it's great. I like it's part of the ethics of money as well. Some of
Mm,
it is got to go to contribution. You have to give money if you want money to stay and you want money around and you want money to grow. Part of it is giving
mm,
and
mm.
releasing that control, releasing that attachment. And it's so rewarding, like the vibration of giving and then like
Oh,
as
that's
long as you're
beautiful. And it's like a circle, right? Like it needs to flow like water,
yes,
right?
yes,
And when it flows, it actually comes back to you. It's actually one of the things I spoke about just recently to our whole community. Like, yeah, you need to reinvest into your team, into, your business, into giving contribution. Like it just keep it flowing and it will grow. And
yeah, it
I think
does.
we answered our question there, how to get to the six figures, but if God wills, but
Yeah, well, that's right.
it can
And
actually
I
be that
mean, we could
simple.
talk
Like,
about it. You want to make a strategy? I also love strategies. I
yeah,
love money. I love
definitely.
money mind maps, like I love
Mm,
nowadays like going, okay, this is what I want, and then oh, where is the access points to this being available? And if you smart enough, you can make it all come to fruition. And the funniest thing is, some of my other offerings started to sell out, like when I was like going for the six figures in a month sort of thing vibe. It
uh-huh.
was like,
It just expands
so
everywhere.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you just kind of go, oh, I see how we're going. Yeah, I see what's happening here. but I
Yeah,
wouldn't have got
exactly.
to the level of courage and confidence and certainty about who I am and what I stand for from the woman that I started unless I took those first steps, unless I really dived into this space for, heart on hand. But now I work with, facilitators, business owners. Like this is one of the smartest business moves to make, but also it's actually required. So we go back to giving is required in money, but also creating a leveraged wealth, like a passive wealth, a residual wealth, is in the cycle of money. Like are you frozen? Yeah, you're still there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, you froze a bit.
It's actually in the books as well. So like, if you're already a business owner, I would assume that there's some level of knowledge growth pursuit to go even bigger, and that's usually you've got mentorship or you've got books you're reading and listening to. Um, you will find that this part is part of the piece, like as well. It's like
Mm,
how do we create a leveraged wealth system? There's five different ways of making money. This is one of them, and this is the one that is highly regarded as top dog on the list. So
mm, mm.
it's like, well, let's do it now. And if it takes you 5 to 7 to 10 years to have that become generational, like where you get to now, hand that to the generations below you, like, yeah, I can get
It's
down
not
with
bad.
that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I have got down with that. And I'm getting down with it every day and I'm loving it.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Like, yeah, like I think like you wouldn't stop for anything. Like once you, like you said, once you've completely decided, of course, it takes a continuous development. I feel also you have to kind of leave the past behind, like again and again, and kind of just renew yourself. Like, okay, who am I now? Like, I'm not that person any longer. And you try to kind of do the same thing in your old self. It's like, no, doesn't work.
Yeah,
Now I'm this person and now I'm going here. So it's
yeah.
kind of this
It
regenerative.
evolves. It evolves when
It
you evolve.
evolves. Yeah,
It
exactly.
will evolve when you evolve. That's just
Mm,
how it is.
yeah.
It,
And it's
it's a
such a
it's a
like
partnership.
beautiful
Yeah, it's a
match,
mirror.
Okay, the
It will show you
dancing
what you need to
will go.
see.
Oh, beautiful, Lan. I love the story. Love your like complete fire and inspiration on so many levels. Like this awareness that you have, it's just incredible. And would love to start to round up just with how you see this moving forward. Like, what is your vision? Like you said, maybe it's not about you, but both for you in person, but also the wider vision. Like, what do you
Yeah.
see being created here? Would love to hear that.
Oh, that's a very deep question. It's a very Mr. Oshiro question. I love that. It's very vast. Um,
Ah, let's blow some
You
minds.
know, I see in my personal business like this incredible, like I've got this incredible women that have really big desires on their heart to support healing with other women and deep and with their families, and just it's just incredible. So I see that really flourishing out into some transformation that I get to witness and be a part of, or also be in my life and see it happening. And that's something that's really special about this space as well, as just being able to see this magic continue around the world where I don't have to always be involved in it. And yet I get to be involved in it because it's there.
Mm,
But I also see for me like a beautiful, like my next step, my next piece of my pie is investing. So I now get to redistribute my funds that I make and put it into investing and having investment lands and starting to learn about that process and grow my wealth in that way and sustainability in that way as well. I'm very close to legacy, so that's definitely happening in, I don't know, the next, it must be 2026 because it's not that far off.
woohoo.
Um, and And just, yeah, just this, for me, again, there's a level of growth that I'm needing, and that is why I'm going into investing. Like, there's another mindset shift, there's another Alana shift, like from the girl that didn't know anything, like, like the girl that was like, had nothing really delivered in that way to her. there's always going to be these pieces where I have, like, I'm adulting essentially, but I love traveling. So travel's all day, every day. It's happening every day. So I'm taking my daughter off to Bali next month for 10 days of snorkeling and all
Oh,
sorts of
beautiful.
stuff. Um, as a community, I just see as we access this level of more people with generational wealth and legacy wealth, that there are going to be more retreat centers, more community developments. I see our children being educated in a way that's going to support the new world and what's needed, and
Mm,
how, I feel like there's this big shift in how things will be done, including even if there's like schooling shifts around, like world schooling, kids coming together. And yeah, I see lots of changes, charities, projects that God's placing on people's hearts coming true, like,
mm.
because they have, again, it's the resource. So as we all are resourced, just only more can exist, right? So
Mm,
it's like, yeah, I feel that it's given us an opportunity to redistribute the power to the people.
mm,
And I know the people like yourself and each and everyone in this community has good in their heart to do. And so I see more of that being shared and accessed, and families being present, and just a whole shift in generational blueprints. Like, our kids are going to be like, we know what we are uncapped, right? They'll be like, we know we're uncapped. So what's possible? Well, it's going to be, yeah, it's
yeah.
unlimitless.
Yeah.
My small
Imagine
human
the next
mind.
generation. Oh my God. I
Yeah.
mean,
And we're only in the first generation of the 500-year vision. Like, that's what I love about
yeah,
this. It's
that's
like
right.
we're literally the pioneers of the multiple generations that get to live this out beyond us.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm, mm.
and yeah,
I
it's
love that
vast. I
thinking.
think
Yeah.
it's too vast for us to conceptualize, but I
Mm,
know that
mm,
it's good. I know that it's really good, and I know that it will be for the trees, the plants, the people, the connection to God, there's just everything, like, and just know that it is of purity, which
mm,
is the best thing possible for our planet, really.
mm. And this, I love this kind of simplicity in a way of what we do. It's the basis of life. It's the basis of so much. It's nothing that's going to go away for like hundreds of years. It's like
Yeah.
it's
I
what
see, like, all
drives
our
the
people
whole.
with their own veggie gardens, like we're actually able to do the thing, like, and we want to because
Exactly.
we're growing and we're expanding, and we're like, yeah. And I see, oh, we're on beaches having fun, traveling, yeah, like catching up,
Oh,
having
I
really
love
powerful
that
questions.
vision. I'm going to be there with you, Lana. Like, count me in because I think like human nature is like so much just joy and fun and play. And that's what I discover, moving into this and when we just been with our kids, the whole family together, we're just like laughing our heads off, like joking, playing,
Yeah.
exploring. Like that's kind of our nature when we're let free, right? We're such
Mhm.
beautiful, beautiful beings if we're just given the space to be that.
Yeah, it's like less stress. Like, it's like you can actually. That's what again, going back to leverage and automation. So there's a part where we can just let go of, like, we're building an online business, but it's giving us so much time to be offline within our lives, fully present. Like, that's the difference. It's like, it's not time, this massive time consuming experience that we miss the boat, we miss the life, we miss it. It's like, no,
Mm,
it gives us value to be in it, fully
exactly.
be in it.
Mm. Beautiful, Alana. Like, oh my God, I feel so inspired just by hearing you. It's
I
beautiful.
look forward to seeing this come up, and yeah, I do
Yeah,
love conversations. It's so nice
it
to share
is.
energy with someone.
And someone that's kind of in love with the same thing. Like, I love that. But any kind of last words, anything that you would like to say to those people like watching out there? This might be new, this might be something they're just like looking at the moment. Like any last words to them?
An empowered self would make an informed decision. So I would always say don't sit in assumption, because assumption obviously is one of the four agreements that that you've got to, again, it's another resource to really understanding how not to live. Don't make assumptions. But also, like, when you make an assumption, half the time it's not actually correct. And so it's
Mm,
like, how do we
so true.
inspire ourselves to make an informed decision? How do we trust ourselves to make an informed decision? Because no one's in this space is going to ever make you do anything, or make you. It's like it has to come from you. It has to be a decision from you, because the whole point of this is reclaiming your sovereignty, your power, your essence, like who you are here to be. And so if you're not, if you're not giving you the opportunity to do that for yourself, I would, like, just have a question, like, just hopefully this alone statement will make you go, wow, I am making a whole lot of assumptions, or I'm not even giving myself the opportunity to fully make an informed decision. So go in and actually do a discovery. Like, the discovery piece for me was so powerful, and it is so many times, I've seen it so many times be so powerful for others. And then there's also the element of, like, trust your instincts, like trust your initial hit instincts, not this, just be mindful that you are just like all of us, have some imprinted conditioning from society, and and possibly, like me, from other people that were not giving you your best interests at heart, like,
Mm.
that were capping you. So that can be like noise there. So trust your intuition,
Mm.
trust your knowing. If that was like, I know that can be so vast, because yeah, I always get my humans, like, right, to go and spend time on it, pray on it, muscle test it, like, like, and it's always a yes, like, you know what I mean? Like, if they're a yes, they're a yes. If it's not the right, it's not. But honestly, if you're
Mm.
here and you're exploring some of the desires and the feelings and the expansion that we've spoken about, then just go for the journey, explore it. At the very least, in this space, what I love is you're getting incredible technology that I have not seen anything similar to it. So on a cellular level and a health aspect, if you're passionate about yourself and your children, and just that alone should be a reason that you invest, because it's absolutely ridiculous not to have this in your home. There's nothing that is hydrating and nourishing your body on this level out there, full stop. Like, full stop, nothing. And on a secondary level, you have this access point to incredible community, like, everywhere, and you get resources all the time whenever you want. So if you're personal development world, right, you spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on mentorship, or coaches, or and this is all within this space, like, through conversation, through connection, through masterclasses, through, like, it's all resourced at your fingertips in this space. You just have to ask for it. You just have to put your hand out and say, hey, I really have this problem right now, or I have this gap right now, or I have this desire right now. Can you help service that with a resource? And whoever brought you in will be like, here, here's one. Like, like, here's a
Ah,
resource. Go, like, do it. I love doing
yeah.
that resource with my people. Um, so yeah, I
Definitely.
guess my thing is just be open and curious about your experience, and go in and do your research, do your studies, like, get into the actual in it, like, get in it,
Mm.
get it on you. It's like
Get into
telling you
the
about
room, stay by the
Fiji.
fire.
Yeah, it's like telling you about Fiji or going to Fiji. Like, go to Fiji, like, have the experience, because at the very least of the very least, like,
Yeah, yeah,
you've
exactly.
resourced your family with the highest technology of health and wellness. Like,
Definitely. Yeah, and get to experience it because I think, just experiencing the water, experiencing the community, and like you say, diving into it for real, not just dipping your toe and like, oh, it was a bit cold.
yeah, or standing back, like,
Yeah, exactly.
how
Like, they
would
can swim,
your
but I can't swim. Like,
yeah, how would
no.
you behave if you were intelligent, like active person in your life? Like you would come in with confidence and courage to desire to go in
Mm.
and really be in there. Like, again, absorb some resources. Like, just absorb some resources. Don't use your excuses like as the reason why you don't. Like that whole time thing is just a bunch of bullshit. The money thing's a bunch of bullshit. Let's be real honest. Like I did a post about it yesterday. Like how much money are we spending on coffee these days? Like it is ridiculous. Like two coffees a day and you're spending $400 a month. Like like that's $400 a month. I know when I got started in this space, I was spending I was on a payment option that was able to put me into this world and change my whole life for less than $400 a month. Like it was, and less than, and that was only for 2 years. Like
Mm.
there's so many options that are out there now where we get serviced for it. We can get serviced, and it's like and leveraging other people's money. Again, it's like this leverage game, but. Um, yeah, that's a BS story because I'm sure you got Netflix, Disney, all of these things playing out in the background, like subscriptions going off. And then you look at like the time thing. Well, I'm sorry, but if you want your time back, it's pretty simple. Give time. Wake up an hour earlier. Be
Mm.
intentional. If your excuse is no time, then you're most likely being unintentional with your life. It means that you're being a feather in the wind, that you
Mm.
haven't actually blocked out, okay, this is for that. This is for that. I have space here. That's
Mm.
being intentional. If you're going, I don't have any time, it's probably because you're not freaking like you're just chaos. Like there's no
Exactly. All over the
intentionality.
place. Mm.
Yeah, you're like you could go and spend like kids take, and I've done conscious parenting retreats, so I know this. It takes 7 minutes of quality time for them to feel fully online and serviced by you in prox for that. Like that's all they actually need for nourishment. Yes, you get to give them more, but it's full presence for 7 minutes. That
Mm.
means not half presence doing a million different things. No wonder you feel like you don't have time because you haven't actually given your child exact presence and brought them back online to what they need and their cup and their filming. So if
Mm.
you did that, then that could open up a 30-minute window for you. Like
Mm.
that's getting intentional with your time. Or
Mm.
you could give them 30 minutes and you open up a 30-minute window but be fully there, be intentional. 30 minutes with a cacao, watch a training. Like make it intentional, make it a ceremony,
Exactly. I
make it
mean,
mean something.
really, we have a lifetime, right? Like we have time. That's what we have. And like you say, to actually choose to put your time on what really matters. Like, I think, like you said, most people are just flowing like a feather in the wind and not being intentional with this is what matters to me, like building a long-term plan, be with my kids, making sure I can do all the things that I love to do in this world. Like, isn't that worth putting time on, like, guys? Then,
Yeah.
I mean,
And the last
it's
one
a
is
no-brainer,
like that
actually.
belief. The
Mm,
last one is belief. I know
mm,
there are three of the big main ones. It's like fear in like whether they can do it or not, right?
mm,
And the
mm.
belief piece, honestly, it is simple. Be around those that believe in you,
Mm. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's so true.
and they got your back because
Mm.
eventually you'll believe in you too.
Mm. Yeah, beautiful. It's like sitting by the fire. It's like you have to kind of get that warmth, that spark, and then you'll be that warmth and spark for someone else. Once your fire, it's fully lit, it's like you can't put it out. Whatever you do, and it just spreads. And
Mm.
yeah, that's beautiful, Alana. Like you said it all. Like couldn't have said it better. Like
Thank you. I do have to go because
I
I am a
love your
parent.
honesty. I love your clarity. I love your energy. So thank you so much for being on with us. That was so, so
Yeah.
much value. And yeah, hope to see you in the dashes, like far down to
Yes.
legacy soon.
Yeah. And I am offering nowadays for anyone that wants to learn how to facilitate like events to work in community in that way. It's something that I've just recently opened up just because I am a very in-person person.
Mm,
And I do work online, but for those that are in a Nagic, and are supportive, and they've got this curiosity around how to facilitate and run events. That's something that I do now is I teach a facilitator training essentially.
Oh,
So
wow.
it
Yeah, let me
yeah,
know.
so
Send me the
yeah, so I just
info.
started teaching that within the Enagic community and also how to leverage like supportive, like how to bring that to events as well. Like just in a way, I just love events.
Wow. Oh,
So
beautiful. Would love to know
yeah,
more about
so
that. Yeah,
yeah,
perfect.
so if anyone needs that piece in their business to just really support them to feel the confidence to bring it into, bringing women together or having like I do the silent discos or having an event, retreats, like how to really bring that in that way. That's a way that
Mm.
I really love supporting
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in.
It's beautiful. I've done it as well. Like we had the Wild and Free Festival. We've had
Yeah,
so
how
many
good was
events here in
that?
Sweden. I mean, yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, and even
Um,
like simplicity of like gathering women together once a month or something,
yeah,
or
exactly. Yeah, and we've had like 4A and above retreats, and yeah, it is it's great to work online, but also to actually meet in person is like when we met in San Diego, it just makes a deep impact, like to actually meet in person and to hear each other out and to just feel each other's energy in that way. It's so, so
oh, it's the
powerful.
best. I think that's the best piece about it. Like, and that's usually a piece that what people come into this space for is like wellness and wellness on a deeper level, like in all areas of life. So a retreat gives us an opportunity to tap into that. Travel. Who doesn't want to go traveling? Like see the world, but then also I call it intentional travel. Like it's
Mm,
purposeful travel. Like when
mm,
we travel now, I traveled the world. This is my favorite kind of travel. When I get to go somewhere and it's also there to help me grow, expand, feel inspired with really cool, epic people that I know are going to have these powerful conversations with that are going to, send my trajectory in a new way and a new thought process
mm.
that could be the actual thing that I needed. I'm like, this really gets me fired up. So I get to snorkel with seals with my daughter and also grow my mind and my business and my, like sign me up, Buttercup. Yeah. So,
Oh,
so
beautiful.
I'll see you in Japan.
Definitely. See you soon. Thank you so much for joining.
Uh,
Wish you all the
so,
best.
all right.
Blessings.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.